Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? It is that time again. We're going to be talking about all the new indie makeup releases from the past week or so and what I personally think about them, or I'm going to be picking them up or not. We've had a lot of really great, interesting releases, so I'm excited to just jump into them. But before we do that, I do just want to say a few things. Firstly, this video series is inspired by Nail Unique Fist and Samantha March. I have both of their channels linked down below. This look, if you're wondering, is a mixture of the Berries palette from Juvia's Place and some Cleona singles, and I did film it for my Patreon, so it'll be up there shortly. And lastly, if you are new to my channel and you like hearing about independently owned makeup brands, this is definitely the place for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now let's go ahead and jump on in. And actually, you know what I'm gonna do, because in my last indie makeup releases, I was like trying to edit really quickly. So I was like, I'm gonna try and edit the least amount possible. And like, if I'm like stumbling a little bit, like whatever, it's just me. And a few of you said that you actually really liked that. You found it endearing, being less edited. So I was like, maybe I'll just try to do that in the future more because it's easier for me. So jumping on in, I actually wanted to talk about something that I've talked about before, but just talk about it in like a different light, because I thought it was just something interesting to bring up. So recently, Lois Cosmetics came out with the new Meet Me in the Underworld palette, I believe is what it's called. So I'll leave the picture on screen, and it's a really beautiful color story. There's like some pops of berries, some pops of warm tones, some pops of like grungy greens. Very cute. I purchased it and I plan on doing a review on it, but I thought I would just share this with y'all because I talk about all the time how like indie brands, just like some of the struggles they go through, and I talk about this more extensively in my misconceptions of indie brands video, but a lot of people really get upset about pre-orders selling out or just like launches selling out super fast. And just to put it into perspective, Lois Cosmetics, they've been around for, I want to say like a year now. They've had 2 other palettes, and they recently showed this palette and people went crazy for it. And this is just the perfect example of an indie brand basically blowing up out of nowhere and not being able to keep up with the demand, because after it sold out within a minute or so, the owner, Lois, actually tweeted and said, "I know people want me to feel like this was a massive fail for my brand's reputation, but I just can't. I'm sorry. I sold more of one of my best sellers that has been around for over a year in 1 minute. Me, a self-funded disabled mom, one-woman business." So basically, what she's saying there is that for her palettes that she had before, her best sellers, she sold more of this new palette in 1 minute than she had the others in an entire year. So when you say like people need to be prepared, or indie brands should know, or they should already keep up with the demand, like I hope that you can see how sometimes in the world of social media, when a brand's demand goes from this to this, like it's not that easy to keep up with. And I think that we should all give the brands grace. It's just powder. It's just powder. It's going to be available again. It'll be okay. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that little snippet, my little preaching moment today. So now, moving on, we have some new sneak peeks from JD Glow Cosmetics, and I'm really excited about these because they look beautiful. They're coming out with some new Galaxy shadows, which their Galaxy shadows are just stunning. I really love that formula. So the first one that they sneak peeked here is called Sprung, and we can only see it wet, but it looks like it's gonna be like a really hot pink with a purple shift, super bright. And then the next one is this beautiful bright green. I can't remember what the name of this is called, but I saw the swatch as well, which I'll leave on the video, but looks so stunning, like such a beautiful bright lime green, and I think it's supposed to have a yellow shift. So I feel like when those drop, I'm gonna be tempted, and I'm probably gonna purchase them. All right, next we have a new release from a new indie brand. This is called Edge Beauty KC, and they have 8 new glosses that are available now. And I think that the packaging on these looks super, super cool. Definitely very eye-catching, and very cool for a brand new brand. I think it's a fun first launch, and it does stand out. For me personally, I'm a little bit more boring. I don't do that many colorful lip looks, so I just couldn't see myself using these all that much. But if you are into a bunch of oranges, reds, there's blue, green, purple, then this looks like a fun launch. Next, we have some new collections from Juvia's place, which I was a little annoyed about, which we'll get to in just a second. But the first one is the bronze collection, and I was very excited to see this because there's a bunch of, or 5 to be exact, bronze duos with like a lighter and a deeper shade in each. And I just thought that these looked really, really nice. So I did go ahead and purchase the lightest one, shade light, and I'm hoping that it works out for me. I would love it. I love a good bronzer, so I'm just excited about that. They also came out with the bronzed Rustic palette, which looks nice, but I passed on it just because I feel like even though it's cute and it's like a nice minimalist warm palette, I barely ever wear warm tones, and I just didn't think I needed it. So I ended up just picking up the bronzer, and my bronzer has not even shipped yet. It's still just chilling with the tracking in New Jersey, and they launched another collection like 4 days later, and I'm like, really? Really? You couldn't have launched these at the same time? Because I really don't want to make 2 separate orders, pay for shipping twice. So I decided I'm skipping on this second collection, even though I probably would have purchased all of this to go along with the bronzer if it had been launched at the same time, like the bronzed and the blushed collection. Like, it does not make sense to me, but in this collection, there's a really beautiful blushed rose palette, and I think that just looks so, so cute. Like, I just love the like pinky peachy tones. And then there's also 2 different blushes. I'm American. Blushes. So the lightest one, volume 2, is like a really beautiful light peach and a light pink. And maybe if that came to Ulta or something, I could see picking it up, but I was kind of annoyed, so I wasn't about placing a second order. Alrighty, next we have a new product, or a new shade extension from Danessa Myricks. She's coming out with 6 new Colorfix foils, and these do look really, really pretty. I hear a lot of people say good things about this product, and it's just like a foiled liquid eyeshadow in a little tube. They look pretty, but I could never see myself using this. Like, it's not my aesthetic. Even with liquid eyeshadows, like, I think it would be a waste of money for me personally, even though they look beautiful. Next, we have a new palette from Drench Cosmetics and Lauren Elyse. So this is a collaboration, and it's called the Venus in Lust palette. And I know that this was available for pre-order, but it already sold out. So if I have any updates, I'll leave it down below for y'all. I wasn't really into this palette. I feel like the color story doesn't really speak to me. Also, the names. Oh, Lordy. I feel like they're quite spicy. And just being a YouTuber who tells people what shadows I'm putting on my eyes, can you imagine, guys? If you have kids in the room, I'm making an adult joke, so just letting you know, because I know I keep it pretty PG here, but can you imagine? Okay, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of Get the Strap. I can't. Definitely not shaming anyone's preferences. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm like, if I was doing that in a tutorial, I would just have to skip blush altogether because I wouldn't need it. So yeah, definitely made me laugh, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that because the color story is cute, but it doesn't really stand out. Next, we have a new palette coming from GlamLite. I was expecting this because they've been doing a ton of sneak peeks, and I'm really excited because it is the Red Velvet Cupcake palette. Shout out to all the Red Velvet lovers because I love red velvet cake so much. We haven't seen anything inside really. I'm hoping that it's gonna be like a really intense like pinks and reds, and maybe like I feel like I could see like some pops of neutrals to go along with it being like a cupcake palette. Maybe just like a little bit, but mostly I feel like if there was like really good like matte red and matte pink options, really good red and pink metallics, like I feel like a Valentine's palette, but like extra pigmented and bright and fun. Hopefully, dear God, please let it not be another rainbow palette. No shade, no shade. But yeah, I'm very excited to see the inside, and I'm sure I'll probably end up purchasing it. Next, we have a launch that actually happened a few weeks ago, I think, but I completely missed it, and I just thought I would go ahead and talk about it today. This is from Touch of Glam Beauty, and this is their Twisted Pastels collection, and these look so stunning. I mean, in the shadows, like just in palette, they look fine, but the swatches look so shifty and beautiful, and I'm just super, super tempted. The thing is that I do feel like these are a little bit more on the expensive side, and I do really like Touch of Glam. I'm affiliated with them. I think they have great shadows, but I went to buy like 2 of them, and between the 2 shadows, even using a coupon code, adding shipping in, it was like $45, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that right now, just because I'm trying to save money, and there's so many good releases coming out. They look really stunning. Maybe if they have a sale one day, I'll end up picking up some, because there's a few that really, really caught my attention. So we'll see. Alrighty, let's see. Next we have a new palette from a new brand. This is called Tipsy Beauty, and they're coming out with a Pomegranate Martini eyeshadow palette. I'm glad that I read the name, because at first I was like, why are they doing a wine colored palette? Because I don't know, I think of red wine in a martini glass, but I guess that makes more sense. Pomegranate Martini. The color story is pretty, but also like the packaging, I feel like it doesn't really do anything for me, so yeah, it's a pass. I don't know. Ooh, I'm so excited about this next release. I was absolutely shook. I was not ready for this. My girl Karen Harris sent it to me, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I had no idea this was coming. This is new from Eldridge. Y'all. Oh. She's coming out with the Elevated Glow Seamless Skin Liquid Highlighter, and I believe that there's going to be 6 shades in that. And then there's also going to be a new Enlightening blush, which I think had, let me see, the blush has 6 shades. Sorry, the highlighter has 4 shades, the blush has 6 shades, and they're going to be available on May 15th. I'm such a stan for Eldridge's makeup. I feel like it is so high quality, so beautiful, like so luxurious. Like, I'm just tempted, so tempted. The thing is that she has not done a video on these yet, and I'm like, I need a full review. I need to know everything. I need to be prepared, because they are a little bit more on the expensive side, because the liquid highlighters are $38 each and the blushes are $34 each. So I definitely want to get some to review, and also just for my own purposes, because I really like her makeup. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely going to be a purchase. I just feel like I really need to see the full video first and see like everything that's happening, the different blush colors, decide which ones I want to do. I know Lisa also sneak peeked in a recent video. She mentioned using a product from her palette, so I'm excited to see more. I feel like if she did an eyeshadow palette, it probably wouldn't appeal to me as much. I feel like when makeup artists do like face products and lip products, I'm like all about it, but then when it's eyeshadow, I'm like, that might be a little muted for my taste. So we'll see, but I'm very excited and definitely going to be purchasing that. Next, we have a new palette from Sugar Drizzle Polish, and I never heard of them until very recently. I found them through M. Jones, which these are actually her swatches. She did them for the brand before it launched, and I believe this is, I can't remember what this is called exactly, but it's available now for pre-order. I got the second offering because I accidentally set my alarm for the first launch in PM instead of AM, and I was so mad at myself. But yeah, I did grab this because it looks like a really beautiful, like sparkly duochrome palette, but I'm having some slight regrets because I think it's going to be the same formula that's kind of going around. Adept Cosmetics was first, but then there's It's Belle. I've heard of Alien Cosmetics is doing the same. There's this one, which a lot of the shades look similar, and I did look on their Etsy. It says that they don't cancel orders, and it was like $45, so I wanted to cancel my order, honestly, because I just don't want to keep buying the same thing over and over, but it seems like I can't, so I might end up selling it whenever it gets to me, just because like I just don't see the point in like keeping it and just having repeats of what I already have, even though it looks super, super pretty. So yeah, there's that. I felt regret after purchasing it. And then there's also another palette which looks like it's kind of the same thing happening here. This is the Indi Beat Cosmetics Platinum Hits palette. And this one was, I want to say like $70. And I was like slightly at first thinking of purchasing it because when I saw the colors, I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. And they had like little swatches on their hands, but they didn't even show proper swatches. I found them on their TikTok, but I'm like, how are you going to launch a palette for $70 and not even have actual swatches on your Instagram or on your website? Like, girl. So that kind of held me off from purchasing, and then I just think that it's going to be more repeats, so I'm glad that I didn't purchase it. I feel like overall, if it is the same thing, getting all of these shades together in one palette for $70 is not that terrible of a price because I really do like this kind of formula. I can't say for sure, I'm just guessing. So yeah, I did end up passing on that. Let's see, I'm just trying to make sure I go through and share all of the indie products first before we talk about a few mainstream things. We can just go ahead and talk about this now. Pat McGrath, I'm pretty sure she's an independently owned brand, but she's coming out with new blushes and these look so beautiful. Like the packaging, the details. I really, really like the middle shade on the top row, but I feel like I don't need it. I don't need it, but I want it. So those are tempting me definitely, and I'm really, really curious to watch some reviews on it. But personally, if it was between trying these, which look absolutely stunning, and trying the new Lisa Eldridge blushes, which are about the same price, but the Lisa ones are cream blushes, which is what I've been going for pretty much every single day recently, except for today, except for the day that I'm saying it. I feel like I would go for those if I'm deciding which area to splurge on, but these do look really stunning. All right, let's see. Next we have a new palette, and this is from Colorpro Cosmetics. I definitely thought it said ColourPop Cosmetics because it looks so similar. This palette is called the 25A Berries palette, and it looks like it's a brand new brand. Let me just creep on their website real quick. They have 2 posts, but they have 2,000 followers. Oh, they've got other products, but that's the only one on their feed. Okay, that's a little odd. Okay, there's one, bundles. Yeah, they have like the palette, but then they also have like a random bundle that has like some random brushes and lashes and stuff. But anyways, focusing on the palette, I think that it's absolutely beautiful. It is $39. Just looking through, the swatches look so nice. The color story looks so pretty. I love a good purple blue cool tone color story. I love that there's like a super deep black. There's like the gray. I think that it looks really, really stunning overall. I don't know, guys. Like I'm kind of tempted to purchase that. But there's so many things coming out. Would you like to see a review on this? Like, I don't know anything about the brand. And like I said, they have literally 2 posts. So I feel a little bit like nervous trusting them and like purchasing right away because I know absolutely nothing about them at all. But the color story is so pretty that it makes me want to. So let me know what you think. Next, we have a sneak peek from Lethal Cosmetics, and it looks like there's like a pink package palette, a white package palette, and like a lavender. Basically, they just said coming soon, no other information, and I'm like, is it going to be empty magnetic palette? Is it going to be some type of face product? I don't even know because they already have highlights, they have blushes, they have bronzers. I don't know, but I love the colors. I'm like, pastels? Yes, please. But also at the same time, I'm hoping it's more than just empty magnetic palettes because that seems a little silly to like sneak peek and hype up. But I guess brands gotta do what they gotta do. Let's see, next we have a new release from Mira Beauty. I mentioned them a while back. They did like 3 palettes and they were really cute, but they all had pressed glitters in them. So I was like, I'm gonna pass for now, but I have my eye on them. and they did this little sneak peek. It looks like they're coming out with 2 new palettes. The one looks like it might be like pinky purple, the other looks like some type of blue-green color story, and they actually said, and I directly quote, "We got bullied out of doing pressed glitters." I'm sorry, that was probably partly me. But they actually did what I think is really smart, is that they're releasing these 2 palettes, not going to have any pressed glitters in them, and then they're going to have a separate pressed glitter quad with 4 pressed glitters for anyone who wants them, and they can buy them separately and have them to go with the color stories as well, which is personally what I prefer. I'm like, keep that separate so that people who want it can get it, but people who don't can also not. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited they did it that way, and I'm just curious to see the full reveal. And then let's see, oh, we have a new release from Natasha Denona that just got announced like a few minutes ago. This is the new, what were you called? The new Zendo palette. And honestly, like, I want to like it, but I just don't really see it. Like, I really like the little corner. Like, if I could just get like the 6 pans on the right, those blues and greens look super cute. But I just feel like the warm color story has been so done before, like between her like sunset, sunrise, bronze, like I feel like those colors look so repeated. And I know she has tons of eyeshadow palettes, so it happens. But I was just hoping for something a little bit more unique, a little bit more eye-catching. So I'm not mad at it. It saves me like $65 by not being tempted to buy it at all. We also have a new release from M Cosmetics, and it looks like they're coming out with like cushion liquid highlighters, and they actually haven't posted this on their Instagram yet, but I saw someone who receives PR from them post it, so I'm gonna share it because it doesn't look like they did an embargo on their PR, and they're probably gonna share it really soon. So here's the swatches. They look fine, they look like pretty highlighters, but I just don't really feel tempted to purchase this. I feel like I have plenty of liquid highlighters that I really love, and also the shade range here just feels super, super generic. So that's a pass. We also have a new release from Persona Cosmetics just to finish off the indie brands, and I was disappointed in this, to be honest, because this is their new multi-use bronzing stick. It's called the Dream Stick, and it's available now. It launched online on their site, and it'll be on Ulta at May 15th, on May 15th. And I just feel disappointed that they came out with a line with 2 shades, like 2 shades of bronzer. And I know that they're kind of known for doing very minimalistic launches, and like they just do like a little bit at a time. But I just feel like with bronzer, like, it seems super silly to only come out with 2 shades. Like I could see maybe like 4 shades, but two. And when people like criticize them, they're like, well, you can build them up or you can make them more sheer. But I don't really like that answer. So yeah, I was disappointed in that, and definitely not gonna be picking up. Also, something else that was very confusing to me, this is their promo picture, and then here's a picture of them in a different lighting. I'm like, what color are they? What undertone are they? Because they look completely different between the 2 pictures. This is not makeup, but Jackie Aina also released some new candles, and this is saved in my camera roll because they are so beautiful and the aesthetic fits me perfectly. The Cloud Dream candle, somebody convinced me not to buy it because I think I'm going to. All right, now let's finish off with a few mainstream releases. First, we have a new Glow Obsessions highlighter palette. There's 3 different shades from Huda Beauty. There's light, medium, and rich. And these look really, really cute. They're very adorable little highlighter palettes. And I love seeing a full highlight palette split into 3 different skin tone ranges. And it just makes more sense to me. I've said it like a million times. I'm so over every skin tone being put into one palette because it doesn't work for nearly anyone. The light one does look really nice. Am I tempted to purchase it? Yes. I feel like this is my call for help because I've been doing so good, and this week I'm like, I want everything. Okay, next we have some new face palettes, and these are from Colourpop, and I believe that Colourpop actually worked with Neon MUA for these. I saw him tweeting about it, and I thought that was really cool. So these are little highlight and blush palettes. The lightest two on top I think look really nice and cute, especially the one on the left. Like it has like a really cool toned icy highlight, but then like really peachy orangey blush shades. I think they look really nice, and because it was like in partnership with Neon MUA, it's not a collab, but the fact that he worked on it makes me want to purchase some. And I have not bought from Colourpop in so long. I want to say it's been like a year and a half maybe. So yeah, I'm interested, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Next, we have something that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy. This is the new Fenty Concealer, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I screenshotted it without any information. So let me just go pull that up really quickly because I wanna see what's going on here. I believe that they're launching May 7th. If I remember correctly, let's see. Yes, they are launching May 7th. And it is the new Bright Fix Eye Brightener. It's supposed to be an under eye brightener that easily hydrates, brightens, conceals, delivers a fast, natural, no makeup effect with sheer to buildable coverage, crease, humidity, and sweat resistant long wear formula. And there are 16 shade options. The price is $25. I feel like this is going to be super good, and I'm just imagining like this with the Fenty skin tint, which I'm also really, really loving. I feel like it's going to be like a perfect combination. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. Looks like the lightest shade is very pink toned. So I don't know if I'm going to go up one shade or not. It almost looks like the two lighter shades I could mix together for my perfect shade, but that feels like doing a lot. Right, let's see. Oh, there's also a new collection from Sigma, and this is the Ambience collection, if I remember correctly. So there's like a really pretty kind of bronzy, warm eyeshadow palette. I stole this picture here from Karen Harris. You can check out her video if you want to. She receives PR from Sigma, and she did a video super, super early before it was like even revealed or anything. So yeah, it looks really pretty. I really like the Sigma formula. But I think I'm going to skip on it just because I know there's so many things tempting me. And then, let's see, was that everything? I think that actually was everything. That was a lot of releases, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love to hear what you're thinking of picking up or staying away from, what you'd love to see me review. Your feedback and comments and conversation are always welcome in my comment section. And also, of course, I feel like I don't say this as much because I don't normally need to say it as much, but if you disagree with me, or if you like a color story that I don't like, or if you hate a color story that I like I promise it's not that serious. We all have our own personal opinions and preferences, and that's the amazing thing about makeup, and there being so much makeup available is that we can get what makes us happy. And you know, what I'm putting on my face, you don't have to put on your face, and vice versa. So you know, if you want to disagree, feel free. I'd love to hear what your comments are and everything. I just always ask that we keep it respectful and kind with one another. But yeah, that's everything. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.